Hello. Read it here. Today we're going to read a story from our /Entitle Parents. Now, for our first story. Bought McDonald's, then my mother screamed at me for not getting her any McDonald's. 17M, decided to get some chicken nuggets after class. I come home and my mom gets mad saying, I should have got you some for me, then says, you should have called me. I try to talk to her about our cat, but she isn't even talking to me. Is she really that mad I didn't get her McDonald's? Let's hear from the comment section. Need more context, but it sounds like it's not about the fact that you bought yourself food. It's control. She's lashing out because you are exercising independence, and it means she can't control you. If this kind of behavior is usual for her, it's likely about control. If it's a one-off thing, maybe she had a really bad day. Hope you have a better day. It's not just about you getting her food. She has some deep-rooted insecurities that she's dealing with or not dealing with, and is simply lashing out at you because you triggered her. Tell us more about her and how she reacts to certain things, and what she demands of you. Hey, this reminds me of my mom. According to my mom, everything I ever did without checking in with her first while living with them was somehow an issue and disrespectful to her and my dad. I was scared for a long time to do anything at all without asking my mom first because of how she would react, but at some point I got sick of it and decided that as long as it was my life and my money, I wasn't going to ask first. It didn't go over well. I still hate when my partner doesn't respond to me when they're upset, because even though the circumstances are different and they aren't doing it to punish me or anything, it feels the same as when my mom would give me the silent treatment. My point with this is that the other commenters saying this is about control are almost definitely right. Sure, maybe it's nice to ask if anyone else wants food if you'll be bringing it home, but assuming it's your money, it shouldn't be a requirement for you to have to ask her if she wants anything every time you want to stop for some chicken nuggets. The only exception I could maybe see is if you're an authorized user on your mom's card and she pays it off. Even then, she is way overreacting and could have just gone to get McDonald's herself if she wanted it that bad. I have a feeling she is realizing you're almost a legal adult, and she won't be able to control you for much longer the way she could when you were a child, if she still can at all. I could be wrong, but my mom started really spiraling about me being independent in any way when I was 16 or 17, and it was definitely connected to me being closer to moving out / going to college / having a life away from her. I'm going to give an alternate perspective as a parent only using what you wrote and not assuming anything else about you or your mom. She could have been upset because you weren't thinking about her or thinking about doing something nice for her. I know it's our job to take care of our kids, and most of us do it happily, but it's also nice to be appreciated. You also have to remember that parents are people that are irrational sometimes and may not always have complete control over emotions. So maybe she needs a minute for her logic brain to come back and doesn't want to talk to you. Walking away from a potential argument is 100% healthy, especially if you happen to be the person in the wrong. Taking this story by itself, it seems like she's in the wrong, but isn't overreacting. Is she punishing you or berating you? I find that when my kid or spouse have a reaction that is stronger than I think warranted, that maybe something's going on with them. Why not ask her if she's okay? Maybe ask if she would like you to make her some tea or a coffee and talk about it, or anything. Now, for our second story. Caught my mom looking through my phone. My family has never been like others, where they express their feelings or talk openly about problems. Because of this, I've always been a very sad kid and a very private adult. I'm 22. My mom has a history of obsessing over people who are no longer in my life. For these reasons, I haven't told her about my boyfriend. One day, she saw me getting out of his car on the street and threatened to go talk to him unless I told her more about him. We had a fight, and she ended up not going. At home, she told me the only things she needed to know were whether he treated me well and his age. I answered those questions, thinking that was the end of it. Fast forward a few days, I caught her looking through my phone. I don't have a password. I asked her what she was doing, and she lied, saying she was just putting it on my desk instead of my bed. I let it go, but today I woke up to the sound of her entering my room at 8 a.m. She tried to take my phone, and I moved so she'd know I was awake. She pretended to clean something and left. 15 minutes later, she came back and took my phone for real. I didn't want to confront her because I'm seeing my now long-distance boyfriend today, and I didn't want her to punish me. She looked through my phone for a few minutes and then left. Now I've set a password, but I'm completely devastated by the invasion of my privacy. What do you think? Let's hear from the comment section. I think it's time to get out of that house. Really? A 22-year-old worried that mommy might punish her? Does not sound normal. Abusive or controlling families aren't normal. You are correct. These kinds of parents trap their adult children by controlling finances, transportation, documents needed to leave, threats of cutting them off from younger siblings or elders who rely on the controlling party for help, and threats of or actual violence. It's not healthy or normal, and these aren't instances of an adult wanting to stay with mommy and daddy. They have a choice of trying to survive while maintaining the status quo, or trying to survive with no shelter, food, transportation, family ties, or documents needed to secure housing, jobs, and healthcare. And that's if they are a healthy person for whom the second option wouldn't be a death sentence. There are also cultural concerns where an adult child, particularly an unmarried daughter, leaving her family home prior to marriage would mean she would be shunned and cut off from her community. A 22-year-old afraid of punishment and having their freedom restricted by a parent does not say, failure to launch. It screams, this person is under the control of someone with enough authority and desire to entirely screw up their life if the adult child doesn't do what they want. And before you do this op, consider how much contact you need with them going forward and if hard boundaries need to be made. Also, how will they handle you trying to move out? Some people on here have had to sneak out in the dead of night and had to check for GPS trackers. Up till now, you haven't really been a problem by your own admission. So be careful, because once you become difficult, you may see a new side to your mom. You are 22. Can you move out? The idea of a 22-year-old being punished for expecting privacy for her life is appalling to me. I have adult kids, and exactly 0 of the 4 would have even entertained the idea that I had a right to punish them when they were 22. Because I did not. Your first step is to password protect your phone. Your second, if you need it, is to get therapy so that you can unlearn the training she gave you that causes you to believe that she can and will punish you for behaving like an adult around her. Then find a way to move. On your own if you can afford it. With roommates if not. Now, for our third story. I turned down the creepy advances of a kid, and he called his mom. This is a little bit of an old story, but my friend said I should put it when I told it to him. So in my neighborhood, the park is where all of the weird people spawn. I was just hanging out there existing like a normal fucking person. I was wearing one of my favorite outfits, which is a blue exercise skirt and a blue crop top. It's an absolutely amazing outfit. I love it. Person, he came up to me. He seemed around the same age as me. And then he started sexually flirting with me. So I turned him down. I explained I have a girlfriend and I'm not a cheater. And then he said, don't you want to be with a man, in this very offended tone? And I told him no, and to fuck off, as he was starting to get a bit mean, and I was starting to get uncomfortable. And then he wouldn't back off, so I said all 3 of my brothers can fight, and my dad will, and can run you over. It wasn't a completely honest threat. One of my brothers can't fight. But it scared him off temporarily. He got his mom to come yell at me about is evil I would turn down her baby boy, how he's so amazing, and how I should just accept him, and how I'm a whore for wearing the outfit I was wearing. I told her fuck you, and I walked home. I had my mom post on the neighborhood Facebook group, so I feel like they may have gotten socially outcast because it's happened before anyways, yet that was a fun interaction I had. Edit. I just realized I forgot to mention. I use they them pronouns. Let's hear from the comment section. It sounds like you're a teenager, and unfortunately you live near some weirdos. I'd just be careful about going to that park with that guy around. OMG, WTF is wrong with people? Especially grown as women defending their precious loser sons. Some similar shite happened to me years ago. I was 16 at the time, and I was very skinny, no curves, no nothing, so there was no chance I could be mistaken for someone more mature. I was out with my friends in a park in the middle of the day, and a random guy who was in his late 20s, early 30s happened to pass by us. I just saw him, but I didn't pay any attention to him. I didn't acknowledge his presence at all. A few days later, I was at school, and a classmate comes in, tells me that there's an older woman looking for me, possibly my mother. I couldn't believe that because my mom was overseas at the time. I go see who it is, and lo and behold, it's the park guy's mother. I didn't even know her personally, but she started telling me how it was really difficult for her to find my school. But she has a surprise for me and to come with her to the school gate. Me being a stupid little kid, I go with her, and guess what? Her son, the guy from the park, was there with flowers and a box of chocolates, because it was also Valentine's Day BTW, and she pushes me towards him and says, "Go talk." He walks awkwardly beside me and barely articulates a few words, but to sum it up, he fell in love with me and wants us to be together. I tell him I'm 16. He looks at his mom, and she says, "So what? You're already grown." I was shocked, stunned, and flabbergasted. I couldn't say anything, but I just wanted to run from there. But she tells me if I can't give an answer right now, I should think it over and contact her in a few days. She pushes him to give me a hug. Then he gives me his old phone, because I told him I don't have one when he asked for my number, the equivalent of $2, and sends me on my merry way. After a few days, I contact him and tell him I made up my mind and I don't want to be with him. So he should meet me because I want to give him his dollar and phone back. He's disappointed and upset, but says okay. But who shows up in his stead? His mom. She yanks the things from my hands and calls me a liar, a whore, and the equivalent of a Jezebel, and says I led her son on. I am again flabbergasted, but this time I deny everything she says and I go, leaving her yelling in the street. Now, for our fourth story. My mother's mad that I'm spending my 26th birthday with my boyfriend and not family. It might be helpful to know that we're Middle Eastern. I was born and raised in Europe, but my family expects me to adhere to their customs. Me, F25, and my boyfriend, M26, of 6 years are planning to move away next year. It's something we've worked toward for a while now. I was emotionally and physically abused my entire life. My parents pretend that it never happened and accuse me of playing victim. They've turned me into the scapegoat, and my sisters, F27 and F22, take advantage of that. I became their butler because I thought that it would fix the situation and better my relationship with them, because my sisters are lazy and hate doing anything in this household, but it only made it worse. Now they're bullying me, expect me to run their errands and babysit my little sister, F9. My mother has no problem with my sisters not wanting to lift a finger, because I should do it all. You're responsible, and I trust you to take care of your sister. She wants me to study because she genuinely believes that I will take my sister under my wing one day. I didn't want to go to university, but they bullied me into it. Every day, I'm forced to listen to them insult me. I'm playing along until we're ready to move. Yes, I'm also planning to drop out because it's never been my dream to become a teacher. I could see myself teaching, but I don't have the mental health to keep up with assignments. I'm just wasting my money and time. I'm thinking of tutoring next to working a normal 9 to 5. That's it. I'm scared of the future, but every time I pretend that me and my mother have a great bond, she shatters the illusion within seconds. My birthday is tomorrow, and I want to spend it with my boyfriend, M26 of 6 years. Now my sister, F27, asked the family to come over tomorrow so we can talk about our vacation plans. She is very excited about it. It has nothing to do with my birthday, and they didn't react to my text saying that I won't be there. They rarely remember my birthday to begin with. My mother went nuts this morning because I'm prioritizing my useless boyfriend, and my family should be more important. I told her that they're not coming to see me, but she refuses to admit that. She's been ranting about it for hours. Read my recent post, same subreddit, for more background, because my mother has this odd hatred for me. Let's hear from the comment section. Simply tell them that you and your boyfriend made plans for your birthday months ago, and it is non-refundable. Your sister's request came in after the plans had already been made. Then don't respond to anything they send. My family doesn't care about me not being there tomorrow. It's just my mother. Sounds like a them problem, not a you problem. They're the parents. They need to act like adults instead of throwing hissy fits about being inconvenienced. It's your birthday. Do what you want. This is the part in your relationship where you realize you don't want to spend time with your family that doesn't care about you, so you don't. You stop taking their calls and don't reply to texts until you feel like it, and spend time with people who actually live you for you, aka you build your own family. Now, for our fifth and last story. My parents went afar and took all my devices I legally bought, limited me where I can go, and now want to limit what time I can sleep till. All because I messed up. I might pose this on our /vent, but ick yet. Just know that if I don't get back to y'all, then I'm %99 forced off my electronics. I just turned 18 a few months ago. I'm a male. From 17 to 18, my parents must have expected some kind of magical transformation from me. but I'm still the same me. I sleep in a lot when I can, and use my devices since they're my biggest hobby, and listen to music like an F when I can. They expect me to do so much, but I just turned 18 and have nothing. So one day, on a Monday on 2:50 a.m., before that I couldn't sleep, since a noise outside my room woke me up and my guinea pig was alarmed by it till close to 2 a.m. I was alarmed by it. It sounded like something fell and banged outside of my room. So I decided to walk around while listening to music, so maybe I could try and get tired again. But at 4 o'clock, after close to 2 hours of music, I was about ready to get to bed. But since my bedroom is downstairs, and since there is a straight walkway to the upstairs door, I saw it open and there was my dad. He has work early in the morning, so he gets up really early to get ready, so he can't be late. We just stared at each other till my dad said, "What the hell are you doing awake?" I tried stating the truth over and over, saying that I couldn't sleep and a noise woke me up and my loud mouth of a guinea pig kept me up, and still did till close to 5 a.m. that same day. He shook it off and said, "I bet you haven't slept at all." Well, I did, but I woke up at 2 a.m. due to something outside of my room falling over. I still don't know what it was till this day. I knew I was in trouble, but what would soon come was much farther than I thought it'd go. I woke up the next day, totally dreading whatever was going to come, and went upstairs to see my younger sister and mom at the table. Let's call my sister Jenny and my mom. "Mom, Jenny, you're telling me he was up till 4:30 in the morning?" "Mom, yes, according to your father, he was up till 4:30. My mom and sister were talking about my apparent mess up. Sure, I messed up. I should have listened to my music in my room. Yet again, my room is cramped since I recently got a new desk that takes up a lot more room than I thought. For this example, I'll call myself Raider. Mom, Raider, why the hell were you awake so late? The first thing I told you last night was to not stay up late. You do realize we were going to have to punish you, right? And we're going to take your devices. I remembered clearly not to stay up late. Yet again, I did mess up. I can admit that. I shouldn't have been up listening to music. I was obviously in a bad mood. I had little sleep from before the noise woke me up, and before my guinea pig would make his squeaks at the tops of his little lungs. Me, well, I own them. I legally bought them. They are mine, and you can't take them as you wish. I shouldn't have said that, but I was right. Yet again, their house, their rules, and man, that caused some drama. I'm going to fast forward a little, since my parents limited my electronic uses in the post, and I don't have much time. Since less than 5 days ago, I can't go anywhere. No stores, not for a drive, not even around my block. My devices are in a lockbox every day, and I need to earn them back. All my handhelds, and even my iPod Touch, I paid $35 on eBay for. I can't listen to music. An F means so much to me. So when I had that taken, I wasn't okay, and became emotionally unstable beyond what I could handle. And this morning made it all the more infuriating. It put me over the edge. I asked to sleep in a little longer through a text, since I have my phone in my room, but at this point a flip phone would do more. Not even kidding. And that set my mom off. Now she's trying to limit how long I sleep. She also threatened this morning to take my devices out to the storage unit. And my devices have lithium batteries. And I know the harsh colds aren't good for them. And my PS Vita isn't built for that weather. Our cold winters are brutal on electronics. Even our cars. She says anything more than 10 hours is enough. And she might wake me up even earlier. So not 10 hours, probably really early. I have less freedoms than my 9-year-old brother. He can at least do what he wants without eyes over my shoulders. Wake up when he wants, do what he wants. I barely found time to even type this. Thank God I type fast so I can get this out here. Now I go to bed at 9:30, same time as my littlest siblings. And my MOM is going to come into my room, make sure I am sleeping and not awake. So much for my privacy now. Like that's going to fix anything. My house might be starting to turn into a prison system if this continues. My mom has already gone into my room more than 3 times these past 2 days, so I'm beyond angry. It's not like I have a job, a car of my own, or really anyone close by to help me. So I'm kinda in a bind. I have nowhere or nothing. Not even respect. Can someone tell me anything to get my stuff I paid for back? Or even to get some of my normality back till this blows over? please anything. If I need to, I'll leave. Or am I overreacting and need to calm down? I don't need them to search my room. Don't worry, I'm not hiding anything. But still, that's a massive invasion of my privacy. And I want the stuff I paid for back. And get some of my life back to me. Anything helps? I'll update you guys if anything more happens. Seeing all the support so far has made me realize there are people who can help. I've just recently joined Reddit and never thought I'd be on this page like this. But thank you all for this. Update. Okay, so I talked to my parents at the dinner table. I asked them if I could go get a job application at the closest retail store. Guess what they said? No. They told me I need to work on myself before I think about a job or anything like that. So much for my independence. So it seems now I can't get a job because they see me as I need to work on myself. A job would work on myself. It teaches being on time, being a good person, and being respectful. Honestly, I can't take it. It's driving me to insanity. I can't do anything. They told me I'm not caught up in my school, which is partly true. But those are extra classes like typing and such. I didn't bring up my electronics to avoid more drama, but I just can't. Does it help that I also have Life 360 on my phone so they can track me like an animal? I can't even get a job if I want. And they went as far to say, I can't even lend the car. Sure, it's in their name, but I can't go anywhere. Well, it's been this way for a week anyways. So my anger was more present then. Please, I need anything. I'm about ready to join the military for freedom again. Man, who would have thought I'd consider the military, but I think I'd be a good sidelines man. Like intercom or data management. I'm good with electronics. I'll update you guys again if there is any more. And please, anyone, can I join the military and not have my parents try to keep me here with their he still has school nonsense? Update. Now that I'm limited in my electronics, the use of the car, and now I can't get a job. Seems I got a TON of school and depression ahead. I hate feeling useless. And this tops it. I feel like I lost everything. I may be dramatic, but I lost even my trust for my parents and lost my privacy. I might need to call someone. I'm tracked like a dog on Life 360, so I can't go anywhere. I can't go apply for a job. I can't get help. So that means I can't get a therapist, which means I can't also get a credit card or a bank account of my own. That also means I can't deposit my saved money into a bank, so I can use it for a backup plan. Since they could take that, it doesn't mean they will, but they could. It's like they're trying their hardest to keep me in this hellhole. I'm starting to resent this place even more. I hate to sound dramatic, but my house, even before this post, and my issue with staying up wasn't the greatest. The stress was unbearable. My family had another baby. We got 3 dogs in 1 year. One of the dogs wants to start dog fights, so we have to always separate them. My dad almost could have died of a fib, a heart problem, and I had my emotional reality check, and I wanted a wife. So yeah, till then, I'll update y'all again soon. Let's hear from the comment section. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to move out. Okay, eBay been needing to get a job anyways. I'll figure out college and live somewhere with a roomie somewhere to share rent. They'll probably do that. They can't stop you from getting a job. They can only prevent you from getting to that job via car. But if you get a job that's walking distance, be prepared for them to kick you out. He ain't wrong, although I disagree with the notion of doing it all to prove them wrong and just suggest doing it out of more selfish desire. Not to get back at them or anything, but more so, at least I won't have to deal with that anymore. Although I agree that you do need to earn it to a degree, can't exactly expect them to see you on even ground at 18, jobless, staying up late often enough for it to be a problem. Best case scenario, it'll end up similar to me. I'm 17, job since 16, helping with rent, and fortunately I graduated early, not out of smarts, average C's and D's across the board. I still dig in games and shows to unreasonable hours, but they can't really reasonably complain about it since I'm holding my own. If you're unlucky, though, they'll still pull all this even after you've established yourself. Which in that case, then yeah, there would be no reasoning with them, and best case scenario would be leaving. Good luck. Didn't say any of this to demean you or anything, just genuine explanation. I too am still struggling with my family. Unfortunately, you're still a kid in a lot of ways. I agree, your parents are absolutely insane in their punishment. Just being up that late isn't a big deal, but I'm nocturnal as well. As long as you're doing what you need to do in your waking hours, that's okay. I get the frustration of being trapped as well. My mom did the same to me. Couldn't leave the house without her. couldn't even take the bus to my job, so I could only work when she wasn't working. Luckily, I worked evenings and nights. I preferred those hours because I'm nocturnal. It's my natural rhythm. You only have a few more months until you're free. You just got to make it to the end of school, kick ass in your exams, and then you'll be out from under them. Use college as your escape and kick ass there as well. You got this. I know you can do it. Also, everyone else being mean to this kid and telling him to just get over it. The punishment was completely unwarranted. Not being able to sleep absolutely sucks, especially if you're woken up and your brain decides to go 100 miles per hour and not shut the hell up. Do you expect a kid still in education to work and pay rent as soon as they hit 18 because it freaking sucks? I had to do that from 16, and no, I didn't get that money back. Mom actually bragged about making more money than ever. I had to pay for my food, rent, internet, hobbies, martial arts, and anything else I wanted/needed. It wasn't fair, especially since I had zero freedom. I didn't even do anything wrong beyond what Op is doing, staying up late. Plus, I was also screamed at, hit, and had my room trashed multiple times a week because Mom needed to take crap out on someone I hasn't done anything wrong. She also ruined a lot of school projects. No one can thrive cut off from the world or having parents that control them so much. I know I didn't. Parents should help their kids along, not treat them like small children at 18. Also, Op, if you're sleeping a lot, I'd get yourself looked at. If you're a girl, it could be period-related. Iron tablets help a ton. I also take vitamin D year-round because I'm always deficient even taking the tablets. It helps. It helps my mood as well. My boyfriend keeps reminding me to take my vitamins and stuff. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more.